was Carina's friend for a very, very long time. A lot of you knew her as Carina Paige Holleran, maybe as Carina Paige Ponder, the name that she blogged under. I knew her first as Dave, and the very first day I met her was in middle school. And I was about 14 or so. I had come to live in Santa Rosa, which was my hometown. And I had been away for a long time because my parents were divorced. And I was coming back thinking somehow that I could reclaim a life that I had left when my parents split up. Starting all over again in a school where nobody knew me. And one rainy day in PE class, we sat down, and it was wrestling that day, which for any skinny geeky kid is your worst nightmare. And this lanky guy sits down next to me and starts talking. And anyone who knew Carina knew that once she got started, she didn't stop. And somewhere in that stream of words, we learned that we lived down the street from each other. And from that moment on, we were friends for up to this year. And well, she will always be my friend forever. She was the first person to reach out to me when I really needed a friend, and that's who she was. She was in everybody's social circle. And I've already gone away from this list. It was so hard to write because there's no way I could condense who she was down to 5 pages or 10 minutes. But I came here to tell you a little bit about who I knew Carina to be. She was a gearhead first and foremost, and she would spend most of her days in her driveway with her dad and mom yelling at her to get that piece of junk out of their driveway. And she would be loudly cursing at it, and while it resisted her ardent attempts to repair it. My memories of her are mostly greasy hands and bloody knuckles, and sometimes she would break as much as she would fix, but she was never truly happy unless she was under the hood of a car and covered in grease. The only things that could really make her happy were that, playing the guitar, and one day the 2 beautiful little boys that she would one day have. Some of my best memories of Carina are the crazy things that we did together when we were young, like cruising downtown late at night in the car when she finally got it to work, speeding down windy coastal roads in the middle of the night at breakneck speeds because we had nothing to do and nowhere to go. So we would hop in our Dodge truck and just drive wherever the road would carry us. Music would always be an important part of those journeys, and on those nights we'd blare the B-52s or Carina's favorite Iron Maiden, which I hated, or XTC, and we would speed off into the night. We never thought anything bad would happen to us. It's amazing that either of us survived those reckless nights, but those are memories that I treasure today. As we grew older, we grew up, we got jobs, we went to school, and we started to go our separate ways. I lost Carina for a while then. She got married, she moved off at Humboldt County and got a great job with the state. She had 2 beautiful boys. She became a grown-up, which was something that was also very strange from what I knew of Carina. Many years passed before we would see each other again, and in that span of time, I came out of the closet as a gay man, and eventually met the man who would become my husband, and later we adopted 2 wonderful children of our own. It wasn't until I was able to legally marry my husband that I found Carina again. She came to our wedding with her family, and we both marveled at how different our lives were from the crazier days of our youth. Afterwards, we began talking to each other again and sharing our lives and getting to know each other as grown-ups. She was happily married to a woman with 2 beautiful boys. She was very proud of her job working for the state, and she was always a woman of opinion and loved to blog about it. She made no bones about letting you know what she thought about anything. She had strong opinions about how she was going to raise her boys and how she loved organic gardening, which I always found amusing because I remembered all those days spent yelling at cars and imagined her standing out in a vegetable patch waving a wrench in the air and swearing at the top of her voice. Those were just the funny things about Carina. It was during this time that Carina came out to me as transgender. She shared with me her battles, how she had known for years that she was transgendered and covered it up because she felt no one would understand. She told me how she'd reached the point of suicide many times over her life because she thought she was never going to have the chance to be who she really was. She shared her determination to transition and the many battles it took to make her inner realization her outward reality. It was never an easy road for Carina. I always understood that because I was there through most of it. Her teen years were filled with a lot of turmoil and many dark moments. But now I understood the why. She shared with me that it was during one of these dark moments when she was again standing at death's door that she gave herself an ultimatum. She was tired of trying to be who she thought everyone expected her to be. The weight of depression and despair had taken her to the end of her rope. She finally decided, either I'm going to transition, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to die. She decided on that day to live her truth. She was determined, and somehow, hearing her tell this to me over the phone, talking about this awful moment, you could hear the happiness in her voice at having made that decision. And 25 to 30 years of weight just flew off of her in that one moment. She had finally decided to do something about the feelings that were crushing her, and you could hear that her spirit was brighter. Having had to come out myself, I understood those feelings, even if mine came from a different set of needs. I thought that of all people, I would probably most understand how it felt to carry a secret self inside. I knew how important it was to be heard, supported, accepted, and loved. When you are finally unveiling these parts of ourselves, parts that we have hidden from others for so long out of our fear of losing the people we love the most. And I hope that I could at least give Carina that. But while I thought that I had accepted my friend 100%, I had also felt like I was losing Dave, the man I knew from Carina. I knew how important it was for her to make this change. I understood it viscerally. But at that time, I still felt like I had lost the person I had known since junior high for a new person who would stand in his place. What I could not understand then, but what I do now, is that nothing had changed. Shining out of Dave's eyes had been Carina's spirit all along. It was Carina that had known, it was Carina that had known all those years. And now I was only getting to see her a little more clearly. She was the one who had cranked up the Iron Maiden to drown out her pain. She was the one cursing at that VW bug because she dropped a bolt in the engine block and couldn't reach it. She was the one who had first reached out to me so many years ago when we needed it most. Perhaps because souls can recognize each other no matter what we may see on the outside. It had been her the whole time, and I understand that now. What I wish is that she was here to be able to share that with, but she is not. Carina's decision to be who she really was inside had caused a major rift in her marriage. Her wife loved her, but she could not go down that road with Carina, down the path of transition. This was an incredible heartbreak for Carina, who began to feel as if she was causing her wife and family incredible pain because of what she felt is something necessary to her own survival. She felt like she had to be away from them in order to spare them the pain of dealing with the realities of transition. Her family was cold, and it broke her heart. She began to feel the need to hide who she was again for their sake, even as she was making her transition, and that was unbearable and ultimately unacceptable. That closet had nearly killed her last time, and she felt it was a choice between living her truth or causing her family what she felt to be unbearable pain that ultimately led to her decision to take her own life. As her friend, and one of the people now left standing in the void of her absence, I will never find it in my heart to be angry with her or blame her for her decision. I only stand here with my memories and a pocket full of wishes. I wish that she had held on just a little bit longer to see how things would change. I wish that she would have finished the journey she began. She would not have had to do it alone. I would have been there. And I know how important the transgender PFLAG groups that she attended here in Placerville, I know how important all of you were to her. And I know that you would have been there too. She had come to rely on the support and friendship of all of you. I believe that even though the short term would have been incredibly hard for her, one day she could have rebuilt the life that she craved on her own terms. She could have been there to see the grown-ups her boys would become, and maybe in some way she still will be. I find myself today, like most people, left behind to wonder, wishing I had been a better friend to her then, that I had been smart enough to see the signs, or woken up to my own ignorance sooner. I don't know if it could have changed her decision, because I know many people did try to change her mind. I only wish that she could have seen that taking her life was not the only door open to her. Now I tell everyone not to take the people in your life for granted, whether gay, straight, transgendered, whatever label you want to use. Because one day that person may not be there anymore to share those moments with, to laugh about the stupid things you did in the past, or to share the challenges of the present. So I stand here today to tell you who Carina was, to the best of my ability, to celebrate her life and to hold on to my love and memories of her. And I hope that somewhere out there she's free, and that she's holding on to the same memories and love for all of us.